How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Spencer and welcome back to Advice, the show without a name. I'm not too sure if you know this, but I've been doing YouTube for a very long time. I first found the platform when I was in the second grade, and I started making videos when I was in the seventh. And as somebody entering their last semester of college, I just feel old talking about it. And I've really done it all, but this channel has not been my first, and I have attempted others, and they've all failed. I have tried on this channel to do videos that I thought would do well, but have basically just flopped. And sometimes me and my buddy Nick get into a call and we just kind of talk about if what we're doing on YouTube here is meaningless. Regardless of how much we push, how much we try, we're all going to end up in the same spot. Not really anywhere. Probably exactly where we are right now. And that's because YouTube is an unforgiving space, and something that volatile is something you can really use an example for anywhere. But I'm going to keep it close to home. There's so many projects that I do that don't work out, so many videos that do well in the first hour just to flatline completely on outreach, and there's nothing really I can do except watch it come crumbling down. So why do I try when I know it's all probably going to be meaningless? I've definitely talked about this on the show, but at this point in my YouTube career, it's more about giving a message or to whoever listens than actually trying to make it big. I think I know that YouTube isn't going to work out, but it's still an excellent place to share my stories, and that's what I'll continue to do. Even if it's meaningless, you still gave it a try, and maybe you can pull something out of the rubble. A lesson, a routine, maybe even a friend. We're jumping around every day doing something new, so gaining something from doing something, I think, is a completely worthwhile thing. Meaninglessness, which is a really long and really funny word, definitely applies to more than just YouTube. So many ventures that I've done have been dead ends because the sad reality is that a lot of stuff doesn't work out. I'm kind of under the assumption that everything we could ever think of has been created. So when you go out and try to make something new, it's most likely going to fail, and you gotta be okay with that. When something I do doesn't turn out what I wanted it to be, I think it's safe to say I get a little upset. That's who I am. Sometimes I get so enthralled with what I'm doing that I'm actually really disappointed that it didn't work. I'm at the stage in my life where I'm going to get to do all of these new things post-college, and most likely most of them will be meaningless. I'm gonna put some time and probably money into something just for it to crash and burn in front of my eyes. The obvious advice is to just not do those things, but in an episode just a couple of weeks ago, I made a video about always trying, so I'm always one for getting out there. Sometimes you just gotta be ready for when it all blows up. Failure is something you gotta be ready for. You can't coast through life and expect everything to go right, because you are untouchable. That's not a good concept, because you're not. And when that first clink in the armor happens, people fold. They give up because it's not what they signed up for. At the end of the day, it may be meaningless. In the grand scheme of life, it's all meaningless because the world's probably not going to be here in X amount of years if you're a doomer. But I'm not, so you gotta keep living your life, and that's what I'm going to do, even if it's meaningless. So with that, that's what I'm going to call for today's episode. What have you done that's meaningless, and could you have learned or taken something from it? If you feel like I missed anything, please put it below. I'd love to have a conversation about it. And if you want your questions answered, please email me at koboldtextadvice@gmail.com for a nameless read. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.